You can own the best knife, the best flashlight, the best bag, and still not be prepared for real life. EDC doesn't make you prepared, habits do. And today, I want to talk about the habits that actually matter. Because gear without habits is just expensive confidence. Welcome back to Not Another EDC Podcast, where everyday carry meets everyday life. I'm Mikey, a husband, father, EDC content creator, and gear enthusiast. This episode isn't about what you carry, it's about how you live, because preparedness starts long before you reach into your pocket. Now, before we dive into the 4 key habits that surround and encompass preparedness, let's talk about the myth busters of preparedness. The first myth: social media creates illusion that ownership equals readiness. Completely false. Social media is exactly that. It just creates illusion. That's it. It doesn't teach you how to be ready. Pocket dumps look impressive, but they don't show you behavior. Buying gear is just so easy, but building a habit, that's uncomfortable. We've all been there. You buy a new piece of gear and suddenly you feel more capable. But then real life happens and you freeze, or you hesitate, or you forget you even had the tool that you spent so much money on, and now that tool becomes obsolete. Preparedness isn't about what you own, it's about what you practice. Now let's dive into these 4 key habits that help preparedness, starting with number 1, and that is awareness. What does that mean? That means eyes up, ears open, heads up, and not buried into your phone, especially out in public environments. We live in such a crazy world right now where there's so many bad things happening that happen in a moment's time, seconds, literally. And it's very important for you to be out and about, but read your environment and really listen to your instincts. Listen to your gut. If you have a gut feeling about something, something feels fishy, most likely it is. The most prepared people that I know don't look tactical at all, even. They actually look very calm. They have a calm demeanor. They notice exits. They're very attentive. They're paying attention to everything. They notice people. They notice changes in the environment, changes in mood, changes in setting. I immediately have to turn my awareness on the minute I walk out of my house, especially when I'm taking trips somewhere and I'm in a parking lot. Parking lots are hotspots for danger, including gas stations. And if you're not paying attention, like a simple tip is when you get out of your car to go pump your gas, lock your car. I've seen so many videos of people going to pump their gas. They're not aware someone's going on the other side and they're pulling out a purse. You also got to turn that on when you're walking with kids. There's dogs, loose dogs that can come out of nowhere and just start attacking, or even just criminals out and about. They prey on the distracted, but not on the people that are aware. If you're not aware, the best gear in the world won't save you. Number 2 is consistency. And this primarily pertains to your tools, because rotating gear too often kills familiarity. You have to build repetition, and muscle memory is what matters most. Like when I'm at the range and I'm drawing for a fanny pack because I refuse to wear appendix when I'm out with my kids because they're just bumping into me and whatnot. But when I'm at the range and I'm pulling and drawing from a specific fanny pack, I want to know the exact mechanics that come with that motion of being able to reveal, draw, point at what I need to point at, and go. This also comes down to something as simple as pepper spray. It's one thing to have pepper spray. I have pepper spray. I have a palm pepper spray, and I have it clipped on my right pocket. That's where it's oriented. And from time to time, I'll pull it out and I'll spray it on the grass because I want to know what that motion feels like. I want to build that muscle memory so that way in that moment's time when I need to use it, I know exactly where to go, pull, deploy, and act. I don't have things just to look cool. I have things to be intentional. All of this comes with the idea of building confidence from repetition. Practice and practice and practice and practice until you find yourself maybe dreaming and you practicing maybe draws or how to use a knife, how to deploy something. If you switch knives, flashlights, or bags every week, you never build confidence. Familiarity beats novelty every single time. Now, this even goes back to the simple day-to-day items that you own. It may be a pen, it may be a microfiber cloth, a wallet, your AirPods even. You want to learn the mechanics of every single thing that you use every single day. To be quite honest, preparedness is boring, but that's why it works. The next habit around preparedness is also another thing that's very important and gets overlooked at from time and time again, and that is maintenance. You have to maintain the gear and tools that you use daily, along with gear that you may rotate from time to time. I was just talking about a firearm. You have to clean firearms. There's nothing worse than having a malfunction in a time where you need to use that firearm for self-defense. You have to clean your knives. I have a utility blade that I use all the time. I want to make sure that when that utility blade goes dull, I need to go and change that. I need to throw that thing out, switch it around, do something about it, but I need to stay sharp at all times. Lights nowadays, EDC lights, they're rechargeable lights. If you're one where you pull your light out and that light indicator is in amber or yellow or red even, great job. But you got to make sure that you want to charge that light, because when you need to use it in dark spaces, you're ready to go. You got to be able to replace your batteries. One thing that I use that is not so popular in the EDC space is an AirTag, even a tile. I got to replace those batteries from time to time. I have indicators that tell me that the battery's low, but you need to change that. If you have an optic, if you have a laser, if you have a light on your firearm, you need to change those batteries. Checking first aid supplies. This is huge. I'm not sure if you're aware, but first aid kits expire. Tourniquets expire. They have expiration date. There's nothing worse than having an incident and having to go and look, and you have dried out bombs. You have dried out ointment. Band-aids are just ripping apart because they're just so old. You got to stay prepared. A dead flashlight is worse than no flashlight. A dull knife is worse than no knife. Preparedness is maintenance, not just acquisition. And the fourth and final habit, this has got to be the most important one of them all, and it's a mindset. Building a habit around your mindset. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. Fatherhood and being a parent comes with responsibility, comes with making decisions in stressful situations. Being prepared isn't about looking capable, it's about being responsible, especially when other people depend on you. I got two little ones. An example I got is my daughter. She knows how to sense emotion. She knows how to sense feeling. She knows how to sense when voices are getting a little too loud and when things are just getting out of hand or people are losing their cool. She knows right from wrong at a very young age. She's so smart. But she's also watching every single reaction, repeating every single word. Staying calm in chaos is your ability to model the behavior that you want from your children. Let's say you don't have kids. Maybe you work in an environment where you're a boss, you're a manager. You got to be able to model the behavior that you want of your employees, that you want of your team members, especially in high stressful situations. Your mindset is the first tool you reach for, whether you realize it or not. Now, obviously, I'm not in my truck again. I'm in my room, but I have a recurring segment of what's in my truck. In this case, I'm going to talk about what I have on my person. So this is obviously a watch. Go figure. This one is from RZE. It's the UTD 8000 BKR. Now, this is huge when it comes to preparedness. I get asked this during like icebreakers all the time or just in random conversations. If you had a superpower, what would it be? And I always found that my superpower that I tend to gravitate to is controlling time, because we don't have enough time in a day, in a lifetime. You can't win time back. So being present in the moment, sharing the time that you have with your loved ones before it's too late. Those are the things I think about when I want that specific superpower. And having something like a watch, which is essentially a tool to tell you what time it is, so that way you can stay on top of your tasks and maybe have an alarm like this one right here. This is a digital watch, but there's mechanical watches, there's automatic watches, there's smart watches even. It's a good way for you to just stay on track of time, which we don't have enough of. So this one's cool because it's all titanium, Ultra Hex. I actually switched out the black elastic band for this titanium band. So go ahead and check them out. I'm not an affiliate with them or anything like that. They're just a really cool company and you should check them out. But let's wrap this up. So what do we talk about? Well, EDC doesn't make you prepared, right? We said that in the beginning. Habits do. It's probably going to be the title of this podcast. But there's 4 key areas that we talked about. That's awareness, consistency, maintenance, and mindset. Gear supports habits. It does not replace them. So usually when we do these podcasts, I like throwing out different challenges every now and then, and I'm going to throw one out today. So this week, we're probably towards the tail end of 2025 going into the new year. This is probably the last podcast before 2026. But this week, don't buy anything. Instead, build one habit that makes you more prepared. Some say that it takes 21 days to build a habit. So maybe it takes 21 days for you to wear a wristwatch, right? To get an understanding that it actually is valuable and it blends with how you carry and it positively makes an impact on your life and you're able to build that familiarity. Or maybe it just takes the 2 days for you to understand that you don't need a watch and you move on to a new thing. But thank you guys for listening to Not Another EDC Podcast. If this episode hits home, share it with someone who loves gear, but just needs a little reminder. Stay aware, stay prepared, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Waka